What's going on, guys? My name is Shaw, and this is my first ever YouTube video for this channel that I'm starting. So just a quick little intro on why I'm even starting this. Most of you guys probably haven't ever heard of me. And if you're probably watching this, chances are, since it's my first video I'm gonna be posting, you're probably coming from the future, because I doubt that more than maybe like 3 or 10 people are gonna ever see this organically. So chances are, hopefully I've created a little bit of success in the YouTube realm, and I've started helping more people, and maybe, I don't know, hopefully a video goes viral one day and one of you guys come back and watch this video. So real quick, like I said, my name is Shaw. I live in Orange County, California, and I have committed myself, I have made a promise to myself that I'm going to be making one video a day, every single day, for at least the next year. And it's going to be surrounding business. It's going to be surrounding specifically Saas software, the automotive industry, and just brick and mortar business, and honestly, just business in general. And I'm not going to be trying to give too much life advice, whatever that means. My goal here will mainly be to help guide anyone who is looking to get into business, specifically software, who's looking to learn how to do better in sales, who's looking to do better in marketing. I have 4 businesses, so I'm a serial entrepreneur. I hate using that word because I feel like it's so overdone, but yes, I have 4 businesses, 3 of which are in the automotive space, which are brick and mortar businesses, and 1 of which is a software company in the SaaS space, also in the automotive industry. So why I started this, why I'm doing this in the first place. So I feel, I've had a little bit of success in social media in the past. I had success in TikTok. I within 2.5 months was able to accumulate like 300,000 TikTok followers organically, using pretty much, I would say, content from like my companies and stuff like that, and showing off the kind of work that we do. One of my shops is like a performance shop. We do like exhaust wheels, wraps, all that good stuff for performance cars. So I kind of use content from the cars and stuff that we were doing, Ferraris, McLarens, high-end stuff, and my own car. I have a McLaren, I have a couple Lamborghinis, and pretty much I was able to create really good content for young individuals. However, a lot of that content was entertainment based, and it wasn't necessarily, I don't know, it didn't feel fulfilling. Like, I mean, I had videos that got 9 million views, 10 million views, 3 million views, whatever. And I'm not trying to show off or anything. I'm just trying to help you understand where I stood. And I just didn't feel fulfilled. I just felt like my purpose isn't to entertain. My purpose here in this world is not to, just make videos that people watch for fun or just to waste their time. I wanted to make videos that help people and change people's mentalities and help people progress in life and reach their goals and things like that. But also not in like a generic way, right? I don't want to like give advice that says, wake up early and have a morning routine. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a morning routine, but I'm pretty sure less than 0.001% of people probably watch those videos and then actually go do that, right? So I want to give real advice. I want to give like insight as to, my company's total last year did 9.5 million. This year we're projecting close to 11 to 12 million dollars in sales. So year over year, it's 20 to 30% growth we've had, thank God. And we've been able to put something together. I mean, it's not insane, right? I'm not saying this is like, I'm not some sort of business mogul, but I just want to come on here and give real advice. My plan by no means is to sell a course. I'm going to be giving these, whatever I know, I guess, away for free, any knowledge that I have for free and experience that I have. And, I always say this is there's nothing better than learning from somebody who's already been through it, right? What takes someone 15 years to learn, they might be able to tell you in 15 minutes. And that's kind of my goal here, is to inspire young entrepreneurs and people who are looking to get into business or already in business, I guess young or old, and give them a little bit of guidance and maybe some insight as to the problems that I deal with and how I solve those problems when it comes to standard operating procedures for my employees, when it comes to just overall operation of these companies, when it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the angles that I take in order to beat my competition and things like that, and do it all in a fair, ethical way, right? So the question you might have right now is, what makes you start now, right? So I just got back from an event that we had for one of my companies, and we had an insane turnout. And at the event, quite a few younger people came up to me and they were asking me about business advice and things like that. And specific, one younger guy came up, 21-year-old kid, and he asked me a question, and it was a little bit different than what I'm used to being asked. He asked me, is it true that business follows you everywhere you go? And the conversation started off with that, and I went on a tangent the way that I normally do, the way that I kind of am right now. And and that conversation ended with him being really, really thankful. And I saw the genuine, like, great, like, he was very grateful. And I saw this, how genuinely happy he was at hearing, and how I felt like he genuinely felt like he had direction to follow. And that moment right there, it clicked. It just turned on a switch in me saying, hey, you know what? You've been wanting to do this thing, go do this thing, right? Like, to me, I don't know why, it just feels like a calling to me. And I feel like it's the one thing that makes me feel fulfilled. There's only a few things in life that make me happy. One of them is God. The next is my family. Next is, working. I'm addicted to work. I love working. Then gym, and obviously staying healthy, right? So I feel like this is my calling. I feel like this is something I want to do that's going to make me feel fulfilled, and I want to help people. So I'm going to go a little bit into my first video, I guess, which is the story of this conversation that I had. I'm going to try to make my videos just on things that happen throughout my day. So that was a really long intro. So chances are, if you've been watching this thing this whole time, first of all, I want to thank you. Second of all, chances are, if anyone started watching this video, they probably already left. But anyways, I'm going to get into the reason why I'm making this video. So I had this conversation with this young individual, really, really good kid. And he came up to me and said, is it true that business follows you everywhere you go? And my answer to it was, if you want to be successful, yes, it's absolutely true. So when you start a business, your goal should be to grow it, right? You're starting something from the ground up. You're taking a shot in the dark type of thing, and you're doing everything you can to make it grow. So if the business is not following you everywhere you go, if you're not answering your phone at night, if you're not doing your research on YouTube till 1 a.m., if you're not, taking a pen and pad on a Saturday at 3 p.m. while your family's there, even though you should be spending time with family. And I'm not saying you shouldn't spend time with family, but if you get a random thought in the middle of a conversation, if you're not going out and taking your phone out and writing that down so you can get back to it later, then yeah, you're not cut out for it, right? So business should be following you everywhere you go. And my question to him was, like, if business isn't following you everywhere you go, then what are you doing with your time? Like, what is more important to you right now than figuring out how you can excel your business? And are you spending time watching Netflix? Are you going to the beach? What are you doing, right? And he was like, yeah, you're right. He's like, you're absolutely right, man. Like, he's like, I've called myself out a few times where I realize that I say I'm working and I say that I want something, but in reality, I'm just not really putting in the time that it takes to build what it is that I say I want. And I was like, yeah, and a lot of people do that, right? So it's a really big thing. Focus is a big thing, right? As humans, we only have the ability, number one, to focus on one thing at a time. Because I was talking to him, there was a conversation going on behind us, and he mentioned to me, he's like, how do you stay focused? Like, how do you not try multiple things at once and then, and then get caught up and end up failing at all of them? First of all, my 4 businesses that I have, I just want to make it clear. My first one, I didn't start a second business till 6 years in. Then I went 4 years on that business. Then my third business started 2 years after that. And then my last business just started like about a year ago. So I didn't ever do anything, like, I didn't focus on 3 avenues at once, right? It's just not possible. So anyways, there was a conversation happening behind them. And I said, we've been having this conversation, right, so far for a few minutes. Can you quickly tell me what they've been talking about behind you? And he's like, he was confused. He said, what do you mean that's impossible? Like, I don't know what they're talking about. And I was like, okay, perfect. So that right there was a perfect example of the fact that our brains, the way that human chemistry is and biology is, we are unable to focus on more than one thing at once and do well at it, right? There are the few, outliers and individuals that are special, that are talented and skilled. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the 95% of people out there. We're unable to do it, including myself, by the way. I'm really bad at focusing on 2 things at once. If I'm texting or something and you're talking to me, I will literally not hear. There's like a blocker on my ears, right? Now, that is also a sign of good focus, because if I can hear what you're saying to me in my ears while I'm texting, chances are that whatever I'm doing on text, I'm not really that focused on it. And it's not going to be done to a high level, right? Because if you remove focus, you might still be able to get a job done, but at what level? At what level of accuracy can you get a job done? And we don't get paid based on doing work. We get paid on results. And we get paid on specifically more on good results, right? And we can't create good results unless we have focus. So unless we have a high level of focus. So we talked about that. Then he's like, hey man, like, you're right. He told me about his girlfriend, how his girlfriend like hears about random new businesses like crypto, and then hears about day trading, then hears about a restaurant or whatever, the next fad, right? And all of a sudden wants to jump on that. And he's like, he was in real estate. So he's tried to tell me that he explains to his girlfriend that, it's not wise to jump from one thing to another. And that is actually huge. This is one of the biggest plagues that I've noticed in the younger generation, is that they believe that the next best thing that they see on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, is the next thing to jump on. And it's funny because it's actually sad that the people that are pushing these things and making millions of dollars, and I made $2 million last year doing whatever, they're actually making their money by selling the idea of what they're doing. Because I'm going to tell you a little secret. Those people that are selling courses and strategies or whatever, those people, if they're really making money doing what they're doing, they would, especially like on a grand scale, like for example, like people that are doing international businesses, like, I don't know, like e-commerce that can be sold anywhere, or like for example, like if I buy a product like a keyboard and I sell it online, and I teach a million other people how to do that, why would I do that? Because I'm just creating competition all around the entire United States, and probably around the world for that matter, for myself. So why would I do that if I'm making $2 million a year? Why would I kill off the one thing that's making me money, right? Or teach a million other people how to do that? And these guys are getting millions of people that are watching their videos and stuff. So I pretty much told them, like, look, don't fall for these traps. Don't fall for that generic courses and all those things. And ultimately focus on what you love. Because if he asked me, he's like, how long does it take? And this is a great question. He said, how long does it take to really make money in a business, to become successful? And I was like, and by the way, he was looking at my car, and again, not to brag or anything, but just to help you understand my position in life. Like, I have a McLaren, I have nice watches and things like that. I have a couple nice cars, and I have a nice place to live, and I have family and so on and so forth. I support them. And so I feel like I'm in a good position in life, and that I feel like to the level that I've come so far in 10 years of starting my own business, I am successful, right? And so he was asking me based on that. He was like, how long does it take to be successful? And I told him, I'm like, if you're lucky, if you really go down the right path and you grind, 5 years at a minimum is what it takes to be quote unquote successful, right? Based on your goals, obviously. And that's successful at that business, not necessarily like the ultimate goal in life that you might have, but just successful in the business that you're running. And so far I'm 10 years in, and I feel like I've barely just achieved my idea of success, right? And 5 years is a long time. So a lot of young individuals are out there taking 6 months at a stab at a business, or 3 months stab at a business, or 1 year stab at a position at a company, expecting that all of a sudden they're going to get to their, goals and aspirations, which might be a Lamborghini and Louis Vuitton things, and I don't know, a beautiful $3 million house. But the truth is, it's not going to happen in a year. So if you jump from one thing to another, then you're only going to be killing your ability to create something amazing. And that really resonated with him, because I was like, look, if I only gave myself a year and a half or 2 years to become successful in my first company, which was the performance shop, the automotive performance shop where we do exhaust wheels, wraps, and all that stuff, then I probably would not be doing $9.5 million in sales last year, because I would have jumped from one thing to another, because the reality of it is, I didn't make a single penny from my performance business until 3 years in. 3 years in, I did all the work myself with my business partner. We had our hands on the cars and everything, no technicians. I think till year 2, actually, technically. But till year 3, I was still working in the back of the shop. And I didn't give myself just a year to build it. I didn't give myself just 6 months to build that and then say, hey, you know what? It's been a year and a half. I'm not making any money. I need to stop this, right? I stayed true to it. Now, how did I do that? That's the question he asked. That's the next question he asked. How'd you do that? How'd you get yourself to keep going? The truth was, although I wasn't making money, although I was broke, although I was eating, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, and top ramen. Don't get me wrong. Like I wasn't poor. My parents, come from I don't come from money. My parents, gave me a really well good life. And, God bless them for doing everything that they did for me. So I was never, hungry, without a roof above my head. but I never took a penny from them in order to build what I've built so far, in order to build those companies that I'm talking about, which are the $9.5 million companies. In fact, I didn't take a single penny from any investor to build any of those companies, or anyone outside of myself and my business partner. And one company funded the next, funded the next, funded the next. And I told him that if I had quit that, then I wouldn't even be standing here and you wouldn't be asking me for this advice. So the reality of it is, it does take 5 to 10 years to create real, true success. Now, are there the anomalies? Yes, there is something. There is something called luck that we have in this world, and God blesses different people with different levels of it, right? Where he puts different things in front of us that make our life easier. For example, let's just say I'm walking past somebody on the sidewalk and I bump into them by accident. I say sorry, and the next thing you know, we start a conversation, and I ask, hey, what do you do? And he starts telling me about how he has a recycling business, a metal recycling business. And let's say I have a metal, manufacturing plant or a machine shop where we have a bunch of metallic waste. So now all of a sudden, because I open up that conversation, I might be able to tell that guy, wait a minute, hey, we can work together. And now I turn all that waste into and generate income. And next thing you know, instead of doing $200,000 in net profit a year, I'm doing $500,000 in net profit a year, which is obviously a significant difference. But that opportunity only landed there because of luck, right? Because God blessed you with that opportunity. Not everybody gets that. And some people get a lot of it, and some people get not that much of it, and never get that, right? And most people get a little bit of it sometimes, or usually, right? So unless you get one of those opportunities, like let's just say you started your company last year, you happen to get an opportunity like that, which by the way, wasn't fully luck. You still have to be, and brings me back to, business does follow you everywhere you go. Even when you're on that sidewalk, you better be thinking business. You better be thinking, let me ask this guy what he does, just in case he happens to be someone who, I can mutually can benefit me and I can benefit. So who's mutually a relationship that's mutually beneficial. So it all becomes the idea of business follow you everywhere you go. Do not have shiny object syndrome that makes you distracted every 6 months, every 2 months, every year, every 2 years even, right? Understand that if you walk out before year 3, 4, 5, then it's like walking out in the middle of a basketball game or walking out in the third quarter. Why would you do that? You're not going to win the game if you walk out in the third quarter. No team, doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to forfeit the game if that's what you're doing, right? So that's not an option. And now the question becomes, well, what if I start a business and it's not really making me that much money? Well, here's the thing. I want to tell you something. And it's a lot easier, I think, to say this when you've already had some progress in life. I'm 31 years old, so I've been in business for 10 years, and several different types of businesses. And I'm going to tell you something right now. None of my businesses was I ever in a position where I could look at someone else and say, look at everyone else and say, oh, wow, for the amount of work that I do, I'm making a lot of money. And I also was never in a position where I could say, for the amount of work that I do, I'm not making that much money, right? What does that mean? What I mean by that is you need to find a business. Life in general, the purpose of life is not to have money. It's not to be financially rich. The purpose of life is to be happy. The goal in life should be to be happy, right? We all wake up every single day either loving our life or maybe not loving our life that much. And chances are it's a result of the things that we do every day, whether it's the job that we work, whether it's the amount of effort and energy that we put into the goals and things that we have, or whether it's just that we waste away our time. And so therefore, chances are you're never going to wake up happy because you're never going to have anything to look forward to. So the goal in life is to be happy, right? And what this means is find something that you're passionate about. Find something that you have done in your life that makes you happy, that intrigues you. Something where you look at it and you go, wow, this is so fascinating to me, right? Everyone has something like that. You can't say you have not had something like that. Even if it's weird, it doesn't matter, right? And make a business that has something to do with that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, although I didn't make any money throughout those few years, I never once woke up not wanting to go to work. Not once. And even after I started making money, I didn't start making 6 figures a year 4, right? I was making like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, and here living where I live, that's not much money a year, right? And I was making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 5 years ago, but I was still happy, right? I was happy making no money. The reality of it is we need to find things that make us wake up in the morning and we're happy. Now, you might do the business that makes you happy, but doesn't make you that much money. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Do not look left and right while you're in this race, right? You're swimming laps. Don't look left and right what other people are doing, because I guarantee you, if you stand in a room of 1,000 people, you're gonna find 500 people that have a business in which they put a lot less energy and effort than you and make a lot more money. And you're gonna find people that have businesses that make a lot less money than you're making, but work a lot harder than you, right? Understand that if you look left and right, comparison is the thief of all joy. Comparison is the thief of all motivation. If you look left and right, you're gonna lose the race. Your goal should be on your purpose, and your purpose should be to be happy with your life each and every single day when you wake up. And that's a little bit of a rant about what I talked to that young gentleman about. And honestly, it was an amazing conversation. And just to look in his eyes as I was talking to him honestly helped me realize that I think that there's something special that I have. I don't know. I feel like there's something special that I have when it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing. That's what I specialize in. When it comes to thinking of business directions, new directions, angles, and opportunities that other people don't see. And I realized when I talked to him, and it was him and two of his friends, but I was talking mainly to him, and they were just listening in. I was acknowledging them as well, and turning my head towards them a little bit too, but mainly talking to this one individual, and just seeing the look in his eyes and seeing how grateful he was for the things that I said to him helped me realize that, you know what? I felt like I had this calling. I feel like this is what I want to do. And today I made myself a promise that every single day I'm just gonna make a video as simple as this. This one was a really long one. Chances are they're not gonna be this long. And this one's a little bit more, I would say, generic in the sense of life and business advice. I'm probably gonna make my other videos a lot more specific on topics, like I said, that have to do with Saas and software development and how to build a team when it comes to business and how to manage a team and new solutions that might help us or even hurt us in the AI space when it comes to running a business. And so, yeah, those videos are probably getting closer to 5 to 8 minutes long because it'll be a lot more focused in one area. But if you're seeing this and you like this, please, and if you've watched this the whole way through, honestly, first of all, I'm gonna say thank you. But second of all, please share it with people that you think might enjoy watching things like this, with people that might take advice from this. And that is the key here, right? Take advice and learn from this, because 90% of people are gonna watch this and they're gonna do nothing. They're not gonna change anything. They're not gonna understand anything different. They're still gonna go out and get distracted by every other opportunity. They're still gonna go out and not chase their passion, and instead they're gonna chase money and not understanding that the money will come as long as you do something amazing with the thing that you love. And they're just gonna do that. But for those of you that watch this whole video through and you're not gonna do that, and other individuals that will watch this video through and not gonna just go live their same life that they've been living and been lost in, I want you to share this video. I want you to like, and obviously I'm just gonna do the shameless plug. I want you to subscribe to this channel because I'm gonna be dropping a lot more videos and a lot more knowledge, a lot more content, real actionable steps on how you can build your company further and pretty much give you the secrets and insights into my world, because the truth is, there's more than enough to go around, and I want to pretty much help where I can. So hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'm hitting about 25 minutes here. If you dedicated this much time, I genuinely thank you, and I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video. And if you're watching this from the future, I'm glad to know that I've made it far enough for you to be scrolling all the way back here and watching this video. So thank you so much, guys. Again, my name is Shah. You'll be hearing from me every single day for the next year. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.